YouTube, Repo Man 64. Dark out in the car. Um, I wanted to talk to you about Ken Potter. Just put out a video. Man, he can really articulate uh, what we're feeling right now. And I'm in the Discord talking with a lot of people in there, and we're all feeling the same thing. And like Ken Potter said, we're all being squozed right now. We're being squozen right now, and we feel the pressure, and we're trying to warn people. Nobody's listening. I was just in a phone conversation. He's like, "Oh yeah, 2 weeks from now." I'm like, "Unless what they're saying is true." And he just continues on with his conversation. I'm like, "You know what they say?" He's like, "No, what do they say?" I said, "Well, it might be Jesus comes back." He's like, "Anyway, so 2 weeks from now," and he just kind of blows it off. And that is the response I get from everybody. Okay. In other words, 2 weeks from now is going to happen for them. And who knows, it might happen. A lot of dates are coming up right now. Jeffrey McGaha has really put it out there, stating that he believes it's going to be the 23rd. And, he might be right. I think it's the 26th. I think it's the last Trump. I think it's the Day of Atonement. And according to the Enoch calendar, as I see it here, where did I hide it from myself? Let's see here. Right here. According to the Enoch calendar right here, on the 26th is the fall equilux. It's a day of tabernacles, and I'm guessing that that's the day that Enoch was taken away. Steve Fletcher just came out with a video saying that I think he was looking at September 24th, or I think he said Tishri 10. I'm not sure. And that was very interesting because from when Jerusalem was made the capital of Israel now it was done in December 6th of 2017, but I guess it took effect on May 14th of 2018. When you count 1,260 days from there, you land squarely on, if you count the day of, and September 24th, you land squarely on September 24th, which I thought was pretty cool how that worked out. Now, we have others talking about October 24th. Now, this is the day that Methuselah went into the grave. He died, and they mourned him for 7 days. And then the flood began on Heshvan 17, which is October 31st. So, I'm still looking at the Enoch calendar. I'm not, and I don't want to be dogmatic about anything. I've actually had a comment stating I need to be more confirmed about what I'm saying. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to call out a date and say that, I'm that confident that something's going to happen. I think that's wrong. I think what we're supposed to do is exactly what we're doing. We're trying to figure this out. And all these dates are birth pangs, and we get closer. This volcano that erupted over there in La Palma, wow. I don't think personally, based on what I know of how water moves, that kinetically a wave that is created 100-foot high can travel 1,000 miles. I don't think that's possible. It will lose energy. If that were not true, as the Earth, I don't know if you know this or not, but our planet spins. Okay? Let me put it closer so you can see the light. I'm out here in the dark. Our planet spins. And the reason it's sitting on here at this angle is because that's the angle it spins. Now, as it spins, it does this. And when it does this, we don't have the waters of the ocean flooding our land every 6 months as it does this. Like I said before, here's the sun. My finger's the sun. This spins, and the Earth does this. There is a point right here on the equator where you have something called the equinox. the equilux in Jerusalem, which is, if I could find Jerusalem, in Jerusalem happens on March the 16th. Okay? That is the point where the day and the night are exactly of equal parts, 12 hours and 12 hours. It happens on March 16th, and it happens again on September the 26th, as the planet does this. So, yes, our planet is round. It is a globe. We don't have, from all I understand, I guess we'll learn more when we get to heaven, but if our planet were flat, and every other planet that we see out there, I mean, anybody can look through a telescope and see that our sun is rotating. We can see that Jupiter is rotating, Saturn is, every planet's rotating except ours. I don't know about that. But anyway, so the 26th is the equilux. Let me go back to this. On Heshvan 10, on the 24th of October, this is when Methuselah dies. Methuselah is mourned for 7 days. Methuselah has asked in the book of, you can read it about it in the book of Jubilees and the book of Jasher, which is spoken of in the Bible as good reference points. It is not the Bible. I don't think it should be in the Bible. However, the Bible speaks about these books as reference points, which I think is important. There's a reason why God named those two books, and I think it's good to read them. The Legends of the Jews, that's another amazing book that you can read. At any rate, in there you will read that Methuselah said to God, please let me die before the flood that I might not be counted with the wicked. He did not want to be counted with the wicked, so he died. That means that Noah, his great-great-grandson, would have buried him, and then they mourned for 7 days. That's a typical mourning period of time for the Jews. God gives 7 days. And then the flood begins on Heshvan 17, which is October 31st. There's a lot of people that have come to October 31st as a date. I don't know how they're getting to the date if they're not using the Enoch, but this is Tishri 1, September the 15th. You have 10 days of awe to the fall equilux, my bad. And that is Tishri 11, September 26th. Then you have 40 days to the flood, which happened on Heshvan 17. In the second month and the 17th day. Heshvan is the second month and the 17th day. Tishri 1 is the first month and the first day, according to the calendar that Enoch used during the time of Noah's flood. God makes a comment, this now will be the head of your year. And he's talking to Moses, telling him now, and I'll tell you, the Jews are still using this. I mean, this is we are in 5782 right now. We're in 5782. September 15th has passed a week ago. And now, according to the Jewish, even today, they see that this is the new year. But in Moses, it clearly says Nisan 1 is the new year, which is March 17th. In the first month and the 14th day, Jesus goes to the cross. I haven't taken a picture of the fix, but that was March 30th. Nisan 14th, the 14th day of the first month, and then 3 days later, it was actually April 2nd, which is Nisan 17. I fixed it on the calendar. I have to take a new picture. There's little details that I'm finding that I'm fixing. And the reason I believe that this calendar is correct, and I've said this before, you have 53 days from the cross to Pentecost. You have 100 days from Tu B'Av, when they went into the graves, and 15,000 of them were not alive in the morning. They simply buried them. And you have 100 days to when the flood began. 100 plus the 53 is 153. Now, that right there doesn't prove anything. Until you come from the flood and you count 153 days and you wind up here when Jesus rose from the grave on April the 2nd, Nisan 17. 153 days perfectly. So it's kind of weird how 153 pops up twice. But I wanted to get on here. I wish I could do a video like Ken Potter. That was very comforting. I really needed to hear that today too. Had a lot of stuff going on with the business and everything else that I don't really talk about because I'm ready to walk away from everything, and I mean everything. And I just want to go to heaven. I just this is what I envision. This is my vision of what this is going to be like. I'm going to show up in heaven, and my grandmother's going to be standing there with her deep blue eyes. I mean, she has steel blue eyes that look right into your soul. And she's going to be standing there, and I know she loves me. She loves me a lot because, and I know this because she named her dog after me. She had a dog named Michael, and she would yell at Michael, Michael! That was the one dog she yelled at a lot. And she loved those dogs. And to name one of those dogs after me, and, that was pretty incredible. But she's there. She's in heaven, and I'm going to get there. She's going to be standing there with Jesus, and I'm going to see her, and I'm going to hug her, and then she's going to be telling me, you need to go with Jesus for a moment. He has some stuff to show you. And I'm going to be, man, I'm going to be crying. I'm going to be shaking. I'm going to be just flabbergasted that I'm even there. And I'm going to be like, and Jesus, you know how like some people act when they meet a superstar and they can't speak. You know, I'm going to be like that. I'm going to have a hard time speaking, but he's going to put me at such ease. He's going to be like my best friend. He's going to tell me, relax, dude, we're cool, man. And instantly, you know how you have a best friend? Like you can tell each other anything, and that friend doesn't judge you and knows you very well, and you guys just kind of just clicked, right? And that's what's going to happen. Jesus is going to be everything you imagined that he will be. He's going to be a man's man. He's going to be like in control, and every move he makes, I'm going to be right there with him, backing him up every chance I get. It's going to be incredible. That's what I look forward to. So anyway, RepoMan64, like, comment, share, and subscribe. I think I covered everything. There was one more thing I wanted to show you in the Discord. It is a website, endtime- studies.com. In here, click on these three bars. You have this person, and I'm going to get sister in Christ, NZ64, I think. Let me go back. Yeah, right there. NZ64, Sister Sandy, I believe, has put this whole thing together. It's an actual website. I didn't ask her to, but she did build this, and in here she has everyone's ideals on when the rapture is going to take place, and this is a good source for you to go to. Peyton has put a lot of information in there. RepoMan64, he's in there. Dr. Barry All's timelines are in there. Obviously, got a minute, and he just had a video the other night with Justin. I'm going to forget I can't remember the guy's name, but you got to watch that video. He lays out a timeline that's pretty incredible. Peyton, I believe, here is looking at October 7th. So we're in the window. We're right there. We're at it right now. It's like I've said 100 times. We're all watching, and we're all looking, at these dates. And maybe one of us is right, but then again, we're wrong more often than not. But that's not the point. The point is you are watching, and the point is Amos 3:7. We can't go past Amos 3:7. Amos 3:7 does not say, I'm going to tell Repo Man to tell you. It doesn't say that. It says he will hide nothing from his elect, that we will know. The Bible clearly says that God loves hiding a matter, and he also loves for us to seek it out. And that's what we're doing. And so don't put too much, don't invest too much in any one watcher. Watch it. What are you doing when you're doing that? I'll tell you what, until Dr. Barry I didn't know about all those feast days and when they landed. He's part of the reason why I tried to figure out what the first day of the year is. We have to know that. They're using the moon. I'm using Enoch. It's amazing how when I use Enoch, it just falls so close to everything that they're looking at, and it's amazing to me. It really amazes me. Is it the one we're supposed to use? I don't know. He's a pretty important guy. I mean, this guy right here went to the seventh heaven. We're going to the third heaven. He actually went to the seventh heaven. God loved him so much, he walked with him, and they just lost track of time and walked into heaven. That's what I'm talking about when it comes to meeting Jesus. You guys are going to be, when you meet him, you're going to be best friends. Instantly, you're going to be best friends. It's going to be amazing. And so that's what we look forward to. And so as you watch these watchers, like even Steve, not even Steve Fletcher. Steve Fletcher taught me something about, Israel. Jerusalem became the capital of Israel on December 6th, 2017. I guess it took effect on May 14th, which is, seriously? You can't make that stuff up. May 14th of 2018? Exactly 70 years? Exactly to the day, 70 years after Israel becomes a nation? I mean, come on. That's a good find. And then he does 1,260 days, and he winds up on, I think it was October 24th. Was that Heshvan 10? I think that was Heshvan 10. And I'm like, well, that's the day of Methuselah. He thinks that's the day of the rapture, but on what I see, that's the day Methuselah dies and is buried by Noah and mourned for 7 days. What's that mourning for 7 days for? Is that the 7 years? I don't know. Is that the 7 days that Jacob had to wait to get Rachel? Because he did. He worked 7 years, and it felt like nothing for him. He got Leah upset, and the father said, just give Leah her 7 days, and then after those 7 days, you can have Rachel. And then he commenced to working 7 more years, but he already had Rachel. It was already done. And so this is, again, like I said, I studied a lot of years on the Bible. Not 100% of the time, but I got into it and studied, but I have not learned anything like I have learned from all of these watchmen and watchwomen that are out here studying. Every day I'm like mind blown over some of the stuff that they find, So, like I said, don't invest too much into any one watchman. Remember, God made you a promise, and Amos 3:7 is your promise, and just hang on to that and know that at the end there will be this warning. What do I personally think? Does it really matter? Until God gives you that notification, does it really matter what I think? But what I think, of course, I'm going to say it anyway. I think that Jeffrey McGaha is absolutely correct, and that on the 23rd, something major is going to happen. Don't believe it's the rapture, but I do believe it's going to be our 3-day warning, the same 3-day warning that Saul got on the road to Damascus. He was blinded for 3 days, and I think that's the same warning that we're going to get, and I think it's going to close the door to anyone else being able to see what's going on. I think the door closes for them, and in 3 days, we will be in heaven, and I think that will be on the 26th, which is the day of equal parts, the equilux, on the 26th of September, the day I believe that Enoch was taken. Enoch's claim to fame is the day of equal parts. It is not the equinox. It does not. The day of equal parts never happens on the equinox. You can look it up for yourself. It happens on the equilux. It happens on the 16th of March, and again, it happens on the 17th. I'm sorry, the 26th of September. So, anyway, all that being said, you keep studying, you keep praying, you keep watching all these videos, not for a date. Watch them for information. Absorb all of this information. You now know that the Feast of Tabernacles is on the 26th, according to Enoch. And I quantify that with when we get to heaven. And these feast days that we say, oh, those are Jewish feast days. No, they're not. They are not Jewish feast days. They're God's feast days. And when we get there, we are all going to obey those feast days.